Good evening, and welcome to the Pinole Planning Commission regular meeting scheduled for February 9th, 2026 at 7 p.m. here at the Pinole City Council Chambers at 2131 Pear Street here in Pinole. The public may submit a public comment in this meeting in person by attending here at the Pinole City Council Chambers, filling out a yellow public comment card and submitting it to the city clerk. They may also attend via Zoom. Members of the public may submit a live remote public comment using the Zoom teleconference platform. You may download the Zoom application on your preferred mobile device, and the webinar ID is 865-0537-5301. The public may also join by phone at 669-900-6833 or 1-253-215-8782 or 1-346-248-7799. Speakers will be asked to provide their name and city of residence, although providing this is not required for participation. Each speaker will be afforded up to 5 minutes to speak. Speakers will be muted until their opportunity to provide public comment. When the chair opens the comment period for the item you wish to speak upon, please use the raise hand feature or press *9 if connecting via telephone, which will alert staff that you have a comment to provide, and press *6 to unmute. If you'd like to comment with your video enabled, please let the city staff know you would like to have your camera turned on once you are given time to speak. Written comments can also be submitted to planning staff before the meeting via email at dhanham@pinole.gov. Please include your full name, city of residence, and the agenda item that you are commenting on. There are other ways to watch this meeting live on Channel 26, and they are recast the following week on the Pinole TV Community TV Channel 26 schedule is published on the city's website, and this meeting is also live streamed on the city's website at www.pinole.gov and will remain archived on the site for 5 years. If none of these options are available to you, or if you need assistance with the public comment, please contact Planning Manager David Hannum at 510-724-8912 or dhanham@pinole.gov. In compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990, if you need special assistance to participate in a city meeting, or if you need a copy of the agenda or the agenda packet in an alternative format, please contact the city clerk's office at 510-724-8928. Notification of at least 48 hours prior to the meeting or time when services are needed will assist city staff in ensuring that reasonable arrangements can be made to provide accessibility to the meeting or service. Please note that staff reports are available for inspection at the city's website at www.pinole.gov. You may also contact the city clerk via email at hbell@pinole.gov. Citizen participation. Persons wishing to speak on an item listed on the agenda may do so when chair asks for comments in favor or in opposition to the item under consideration. After all those persons wishing to speak have done so, the hearing will be closed and the matter will be discussed amongst the commission prior to rendering a decision. Any person may appeal the action of the Planning Commission or the Planning Manager by filing an appeal with the City Clerk in writing within 10 days of such action. Following the public hearing, the City Council may act to confirm, modify, or reverse the action of the Planning Manager, and the Planning Commission may act to confirm, modify, or reverse the action of the Planning Manager. The cost to appeal a decision is $500, and a minimum $2,500 deposit fee. Please note, if you challenge the decision of the Commission regarding a project in court, you will be limited to raising only those issues you or someone else raised at the public hearing or in writing delivered to the City at Pinole at or prior to the public hearing. The Ralph M. Brown Act, Government Code subsection 54950. In enacting this chapter, the legislature finds and declares that the public commissions, boards, and councils and other public agencies in this state exist in the aid in the conduct of the people's business. It is the intent of the law that their actions be taken openly and that their deliberations be conducted openly. The people of the state do not yield their sovereignty to the agencies which serve them. The people, in delegating authority, do not give public servants the right to decide what is good for the people to know and what is not good for them to know. The people insist on remaining informed so they may retain control over the instruments they have created. And with that, this meeting will be called to order. All those willing and able, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And with that, Planning Manager Hinham, before we begin, we would like to acknowledge the Ohlone people who are the traditional custodians of this land. We pay our respects to the Ohlone elders, past, present, and future, who call this place Ohlone land, the land that Pinole sits upon, their home. We are proud to continue their tradition of coming together and growing as a community. We thank the Ohlone community for their stewardship and support, and we look forward to strengthening our ties as we continue our relationship of mutual respect and understanding. And thank you. And with that, Planning Manager Hinham, could we please have a roll call?
Commissioner Uch.
Present.
Commissioner Huey.
Present.
Commissioner Lamb-Julian. She is absent. She has an excused absence. We spoke with her earlier this afternoon, so she will not be able to attend, and she's not attending virtually at this point. Commissioner Bender.
Present.
Commissioner Martinez.
Present.
Vice Chair Minnis.
Here, and the usual note that I sent ex parte communications to members of my email list about the topic of this meeting.
And Chair Sandoval.
Present.
Let the record show that we have a quorum tonight and we can take action on all items on the agenda.
Thank you, Planning Manager Hinham. And with that, we will move to citizens to be heard. The public may address the Planning Commission on items that are within its jurisdiction and not otherwise listed on the agenda. Planning Commissioners may discuss the matter brought to their attention, but by state law, the Ralph M. Brown Act, action must be deferred to a future meeting. Time allowed is 5 minutes per comment. Do we have any citizens to be heard in person or online?
I see one person online right now, but no hands raised.
Okay. Please raise your hand if you'd like to speak. And if you do not want to speak on the citizens to be heard, we will move on to the meeting minutes. And the meeting minutes for the January 2026 meeting. Does anyone on the commission have any questions or concerns or comments on the meeting minutes? And with that, I will make a motion to approve the Planning Commission meeting minutes for January 26, 2026.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Vice Chair Menace. And can we please have a roll call vote?
Commissioner Huey.
Yes.
Commissioner Uch.
Yes.
Commissioner Bender.
Yes.
Commissioner Martinez.
Abstain.
Vice Chair Minnis.
Yes.
Chair Sandoval.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0-1 with one abstention.
Thank you. And with that, we will move to our public hearing. We do have one item for a public hearing tonight. At the beginning of the item, the chair will read the description of that item stated on the agenda. Then city staff will be given a brief presentation of the proposed project. The commission may then ask staff questions about the item. For those items listed as public hearing, the chair will open the public hearing and ask if the applicant would like to make a presentation. Those in favor of the project will be given an opportunity to speak, followed by those who are opposed. The applicant will be given an opportunity for a rebuttal. The public hearing will then be closed, and the commission may discuss the item amongst themselves and ask questions of staff. The commission will then vote to approve, deny, or approve in a modified form, or continue the matter for a later date for a decision. The chair will announce the commission's decision and advise the audience of the appeal procedure. Please note that no public hearings will begin after 11 p.m. Items still remaining on the agenda after 11 p.m. will be held over to the next meeting. Looks like we have one item tonight, SM 26-0001, subdivision of parcel located at 2860 Pinole Valley Road, APN 430-330-027 for land dedication trail to the city of Pinole. Planning Manager Hinham, do we have a presentation on this item?
I just have a brief intro, and then I'll be turning it over to our Public Works Director, Heba El-Ghani, for the full presentation. Just want to let you know that this is a two-lot subdivision. It's required by our code to review public hearing a tentative map for the Planning Commission for a final parcel map to be approved by the city engineer. So with that, I'll let the Public Works Director, Heba, give a brief presentation on the project, and if you have any questions of staff, be happy to answer those. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Good evening, Planning Commission Chair and members.
I regret not being able to be with you in person this evening due to my illness, and I appreciate you considering this item. As the chair mentioned, this is regarding two-lot subdivision proposal. It's located at 2860 Pinole Valley Road, the property of Mr. Zakiki. It's a commercial property bounded by Pinole Valley Road, as shown on the aerial photo and parcel plan is the high school, the Pinole Valley High School. Next slide, please. It's shown two lots subdivision for Lot A and Lot B. The Public Works Department conducted the necessary survey work, and this division is a result of that and a result of the review of the field in relation to the location of the creek, the trail, and the shopping area of the existing parcel. The staff report focuses on describing the consistency with the general plan, as well as the categorical exemption from CEQA. What I would like to share with you this evening is some background information behind this proposal. Mr. Zakiki, the owner of this property, has approached the city, I believe, early last year, and we've been in communication with the property owner on this subdivision. He would like to donate what's shown as proposed Lot B, so there are no fiscal impacts associated with the subdivision or the land donation to the city. And our city attorney, Eric Kasher, is in the process of formulating the agreement between the city and the property owner. Next slide, please. In describing the background behind pursuing this subdivision, what is shown here is a concept developed by the Friends of the Creek, who has been in support of this effort and in continued collaboration with the city. The idea is to improve the trail and I will share some of the improvements planned with bicycle and pedestrian connections to Sarah Court, to Pinole Valley Road at the bottom of the concept, and Sarah Court towards the top of the concept, and the pedestrian and bicycle connection to the shopping center via the pedestrian and bicycle bridge connected to what's shown as a circle. The improvements planned include environmentally friendly type of trail lighting, furnishings to accommodate the community and make it a community destination, improvements to the bicycle and pedestrian bridge, as well as addition of art, repaving the trail with permeable pavement and widening the trail, as well as vegetation management and planting of drought-tolerant plants. Next slide, please. This slide shows the terminus of the trail on both ends. I should mention that the Community Development Department, with the support of the Friends of the Creek, submitted a grant application for Clean California. And we've had a number of meetings recently. We're expecting to hear soon about a grant in the amount of $300,000 that would allow us to install the art that are reflectant of the area, wayfinding signs, and these are just photos of examples. Wayfinding signs at both ends at Sarah Court and Pinole Valley Road, as well as signage for the trail in general and the creek, as well as the furniture. What would be left outside of this grant would be the widening and resurfacing of the trail, as well as the upgrades to the bridge. We're pursuing upgrades to the or installation of lighting as part of a capital project, separate from the grant. And the remaining work for the permeable pavement and bridge, we're pursuing other grant opportunities that we will be submitting next month. With that, I will be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. I wanted to provide you with brief information on the background of the work being carried out and the communication with the property owner that created the need for this subdivision that would create parcel B under the city's jurisdiction.
Thank you so much, Director Gundy, for the presentation. I will ask the commission to be brief since I know that you're not feeling well at the moment. And with that, we will go to questions from the commission. Commissioner Bender, do you have any questions?
Thank you for filling in the information on this. Who maintains this part of the creek? Is it the city? Or is Contra Costa Flood Control, are they involved in any way, shape, or form?
The creek itself is under the flood control, and it will continue to be under the flood control. The proposed Lot B does not include the creek.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification. That's the only questions. I do have some comments. I'll save that for later. There are some corrections or clarifications.
Sounds good. Thank you. And Commissioner Utch.
I have a question regarding, are there any available documents of the planned improvements for the trail of the new lot that the public can access to, and where, if possible?
What I am sharing in the presentation, these are concepts prepared by the Friends of the Creek. Once approved as a subdivision, we will start with the design process of the types of even the types of furniture that would be installed and would qualify under the grant funding. Because, for example, they wouldn't allow the installation of shades or any shelters. So it's the type of furniture that it would have its own shade. So we will start performing the detailed work on the design itself. We don't currently have plans, except the survey work and the title report.
That's all my questions, and thank you for the clarification.
Thank you. And Commissioner Martinez.
Thank you for joining us this evening remotely. We really appreciate it. The only question I have for you is that particular parcel sits behind the Red Onion and then the Kumon and various learning things behind there. So having been there many times, I would just have a couple questions, and they're going to be regarding the security part of it, because there's a number of kids with it bookmarking right there next to the high school. Will there, if we're adding lights, will they be lights that obviously would be low lights that will cover the trail in the evening, but are we also going to add additional upper lighting, so that way if there's anybody walking through there at night, that we have it lit up? So the first question is on what type of lights are being considered for this. And then the next one, because it sits behind the buildings, there's not a lot of visibility on there. And from what I remember, there's not a lot of windows looking out there. So the next question is on security. Are we looking at adding additional security components to make sure that we've got somebody watching over that area, so that our kids are safe as they travel through there both day and night? So again, my question is the first two questions on lighting, low level, and then above ground lighting. And the second question is regarding security. So if you could answer those for me, I would be really grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. These are great questions, and it's part of the reason behind the planned improvements, the security and visibility, and increasing the use of that path. Currently, this is a multi-use path that's dirt, and it's not heavily used because of the condition of it. It is, however, still used by pedestrians and cyclists, including the students. With regards to lighting, there is presently lights, although it's aiming towards the high school, but it reflects on the trail as well, along the fenced area, where the red line, the boundary shown, there is a fence that belongs to the school, and there are multiple overhead lights along that fence. The reason I'm saying the type of trail lighting that we would be adding is the environmental impacts that would be potentially associated with the installation of lighting and the approval process. The lighting would be solar powered. It will not have energy extension, electricity extension, but it would be lit during the evening and night hours. And we're expecting the safety with numbers, the actual increased use that we're aiming for would, in a way, enhance safety. In terms of security, although we haven't looked into it yet, we would collaborate with CDD, the city's IT department, and Friends of the Creek, but we could potentially look into the addition of security cameras. Our IT department is in the process of researching having security cameras and alarms for the various facilities within the city, and this could potentially be added. I hope I addressed your questions.
Yes, you did thoroughly. Thank you. Those are the only questions I had.
Thank you. Commissioner Huey.
Yeah, I had two questions. Thank you for your presentation, for being with us when you're not feeling well. My first one is just, can you please provide clarification on what improvements were not going to be covered within that grant, that Clean California grant, outside of the $300,000? What would not be covered there? And then how are we planning to get the funds to cover those expenses? And then my second question was about utilization of the current area. So do we have any survey that depicts the type of demographics of folks that are utilizing that area, and if there were peak times of that?
Yes, to address your first question, the Clean California program grant, although it's close to being approved, actually the initial application was for 200,000, and they came back to the city and said that they have additional funds that the ask could be increased to 300,000. So hopefully we're expecting approval of the grant application. And what that would cover is the furnitures, so the benches. It would cover debris removal and vegetation management within the parcel B that was shown. So it doesn't include the creek itself embankments. It's within parcel B. It includes the art pieces. It includes the wayfinding signs to the trail and creek. It includes a larger scale signs at both ends of the trail, as I mentioned, at Sarah Court and Pinole Valley Road. So it includes signage, furniture, arts, and vegetation management and debris removal. In terms of the lighting, this would also be implemented soon as a priority under a capital project. It's improvements in lighting citywide. It's a capital project under the Public Works Department that we would allocate some funds out of that for the installation of the lights, given the priority of the safety element. The remaining items, and I've already been in communication with the consultant, where we are searching a number of grant programs that we will be pursuing within the next couple of months, would be for the improvements of the pedestrian and bicycle bridge, and the widening and resurfacing or surfacing of the multi-use paths with permeable pavement, again, because of the environmental impacts of having regular pavement. This would be specifically for a trail use.
Thank you. And then did you have feedback for my second question about the usage of that area?
We don't have formalized, I was just trying to remember. I know we don't have formalized counts that we typically do as part of the data collection. And we can pursue that if you'd like. We can have counts and try to capture the peak periods, whether during the weekdays or on weekend days, to see commuters versus recreational uses and access to the shopping center or the school during the week. I believe that Friends of the Pinole Creek may have some data. I can check. But Public Works currently does not have formalized counts.
Thank you.
Vice Chair Menace.
Thank you for your presentation, Director Elgendi, and I appreciate your taking the time to present it to us while ill, and also taking the care and precaution to not present us to us in person while ill. I have a few questions. My initial question was about the dedication and fee simple that was noted in the page 37 of the report, but I think you've already addressed that with your sub-presentation, going over the fact that the applicant intends to dedicate it to the city of Pinole. But I have some follow-up questions about that. First off of Commissioner Ucha's question, would it be possible for the PowerPoint that you presented us with to be uploaded to the city website as under the usual presentations and attachments bit, noting that it's not a finalized thing and things can change from there? Because I think that would inform the public about what we're discussing tonight compared to the staff report, which is considerably narrower.
Yes, I will be happy to do that. And I do apologize. I actually sent it to Justin relatively recently, like in late afternoon. I will be more than happy to provide more details about the future steps, potential sources of funding to the presentation, and we would upload it to the website. And to address the first comment, yes, if approved, the land would be donated to the city and it would be under the city's jurisdiction.
And then following up on that, I guess first, before I go any farther, since the topic of the item we're discussing tonight is approving the tentative parcel map to establish the subdivision, can we discuss / offer advice or comments on the broader uses of the trail, or are we limited simply to discussing the parcel map?
You are only to be discussing the parcel map. I mean, we're having general information and general stuff like that, but your overall ruling is based on the parcel map alone.
Okay. And secondly, with regards to parcel B, setting aside any potential future uses of that parcel, what does the city estimate the ongoing cost to it would be to maintain that parcel in good condition?
We currently maintain that area simply for to secure the safety of the users, because we cannot leave the way the vegetation are, we cannot leave them to grow. It could potentially harm the users of the dirt path. So we're currently maintaining the location. So it will not significantly increase the need for staffing time or costs. In fact, with the future improvements, we're hoping like improvements to the bridge, for example, would reduce the potential for having to replace it altogether if it continues to deteriorate, or the regular replacement of wood boards here and there. We're hoping that it would be more organized maintenance, given the improvements in the overall conditions of the area.
All right, that's all my questions for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Menace. I do not have any questions at this time. All my questions have already been answered already. Any other questions from the commission? Nope. All right, and with that, we will move to open our public hearing. Do we have a presentation in support of this item?
We do have a hand raised. I can't tell which direction the speaker might lean in, but the hand raised is from Jonathan Jarvis.
Okay, if we can please have you speak on this item. Please press *6 to unmute, and whenever you are ready. The time allowed will be 5 minutes.
Okay, Jonathan, you're currently muted, is what I'm seeing.
Hello, I'd like to speak on behalf.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. This is John Jarvis. I am a resident of Pinole, and I'm a volunteer with the Friends of Pinole Creek Watershed. I'm the lead for the Friends group for the Pinole Creekside project, which is this trail. And we really appreciate the support from the city on this project. A little background, this trail is predominantly used by the students from the Pinole Valley High School as they walk after school or during open campus between the school and the Pinole Valley Shopping Center. So it is frequently used there, as well as students coming from Sarah Court being dropped off and walking to the high school, as well as the community of folks that live at Sarah Court. So this is a pretty active trail. We do not have hard numbers for the total usage, but if you're out there during the day, you can see a lot of folks using it. We identified it as a trash hotspot as a part of our monthly trash cleanups and felt that there was an opportunity if we improved the trail, put in trash receptacles, which we've done, the city has done, remove the non-native vegetation, improve the trail tread, we would get a lot more, let's say, respect for the area. So we reached out, got a pro bono design, which Heba mentioned, by Base Landscape Architecture. Their design concepts are available on the Friends of Pinole Creek Watershed website. If you click on projects, you can see their design concepts, which have just given us
Let's see.
Load, are you still there? It seems to we have lost you.
Yeah, he's still connected.
ideas about how to do it. As Heba points out, we involved in this process. We along the trail and in the Pinole Valley from that. Sorry. Anyway, including the need for lighting. There are some of the students felt concerned about security, particularly in the winter when it's dark. The trail is dark in that period. And so the lighting, the artwork, the amenities, such as picnic tables and others, were all suggestions that came from the public, as well as the students along the way, as well as the need to be able to see the creek and actually feel a connection to Pinole Creek as well. And we really appreciate the opportunity for continued participation in grants that will improve the trail. We do believe that by removing the non-native species along the edge of the trail and planting it with native species, which would be part of the Caltrans grant, that maintenance will be significantly reduced along the trail as well. We did reach out and work with the Lishan Ohlone community as well, and they're very strongly interested in supporting our work, including the planting of native plants that may be useful for cultural and traditional uses as well. So we think this is a great project. We really appreciate the Planning Commission's consideration of this transfer of lands and the subdivision, because that will really facilitate the opportunity to improve the trail and its access for the students in particular, but the public in general. So thank you.
Thank you so much for your comment. Do we have any other comments online?
There are no other hands raised currently.
Okay, and with that, we will close the public hearing and bring it back to the commission for comments on this item. Commissioner Martinez, any comments on this item?
No comments at this time. Thank you.
Commissioner Huey.
No comments, thank you.
Vice Chair Menace.
I'd like to thank the public commenter, Mr. Jarvis. He answered some questions I hadn't realized I had about whether there'd already been public input on the presentation and whether there'd been outreach to the local Aloi tribes. So thank you for highlighting those points as well as going into more detail. I also wanted to note for his information that audio in the chambers cut out during the middle of his comments from about, I want to say, 3 minutes on the Zoom timer to about 2 minutes, 30 seconds on the Zoom timer. I think we got the overall gist of his comments relatively well, but just want to note that for the record.
Thank you, Vice Chairman. Did you have more comments?
No, that's all.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Bender.
I think maybe the only comments I have is actually related to attachment A in the resolution itself. Item 6B, which is on page 2 of 3 or 34 of 37, says Apian Professional Plaza. I assume that's a typo.
Yes, it is.
And it should.
We'll have that stricken.
And then the only other comment I have is also on the page 31 of 37 of the resolution, the third from the bottom paragraph, where it says in the very last line, have an average slope greater than 20% and. I'm curious where the 20% comes from, because in the staff report, they talk about where there's no more than 30% of the subject lot has slopes of 10% or greater.
The 20% is the actual what the subdivision code requires. So in the staff report, they were just stating what the actual slope was within the area.
All right.
Yeah, and I believe that CEQA exemption also references a 20%, so I think it's in reference to that as well.
I don't have anything else other than this definitely
if
seems a
I-
worthwhile donation on the part of the property owner.
If I may add, the slopes there are definitely less than 20%. They're actually less than 10% for the majority of the lands. And I should also mention that there will be accessibility improvements on both ends of the multi-use path at Pinole Valley Road and at Sarah Court, because currently the access points are not ADA compliant, and these will be improved as part of the surfacing of the multi-use paths and the access locations. I understand that the hearing today is about the subdivision and for the next meeting as well. But if the Planning Commission wish for us to come back with a presentation in future months as the project progresses, I'll be more than happy to come back and present.
I have no further comments.
Okay, sounds good. And I will go to Commissioner Utch. I'll hold off for a little bit.
No comments.
Okay, and thank you. And yes, thank you, Director El-Ghani, for the presentation. I think it would be cool to still be informed about what ends up happening to the trail and the land in the future. I personally would be interested in learning what ends up happening there. Are there any other comments? Yes, Vice Chairman.
I was wondering, could we make a motion to have a future agenda item for Director El-Ghani to present to us on future developments with the not proposed but potentially planned project?
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to do that, you won't have any quote say or approval authority at this point because this is more of a there's no design review component as part of the project. But if you want just for informational purposes of what they're doing, then we'd be happy to set up an agenda item for that.
I think it would be beneficial to the community to have that be part of a meeting, so I'll make the motion to have that as a future agenda item.
I would second that.
Planning Manager Hannum, could we please have a roll call?
Commissioner Uch,
Yes.
Commissioner Huey,
Yes.
Commissioner Bender,
Yes.
Commissioner Martinez,
Yes.
Vice Chair Menes,
Yes.
Chair Sandoval.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
All right. Any other comments before we make a motion approving the resolution? All right. And with that, I will make a motion to approve item SM 26-001, subdivision of parcel land at 2860 Pinole Valley Road for land dedication trail to the city of Pinole, with the correction of the typo on condition of approval 6B, correcting that from Apian Village to the appropriate shopping development.
I'll second.
Thank you for the second. And could we please have a roll call?
Commissioner Huey,
Yes.
Commissioner Uch,
Yes.
Commissioner Bender,
Yes.
Commissioner Martinez,
Yes.
Vice Chair Menes,
Yes.
Chair Sandoval.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you for that. And just as a note, if a decision of the Planning Commission is challenged in court, an individual from the public would be limited to raising only those issues someone had raised at the public hearing or had been delivered in writing to the city of Pinole at or prior to the public hearing. And with that, we will move on to our next item, old business, which we have none. Next would be our new business, which we would also no items under there either. And our next item is our city planners report. Planning Manager Hannum, is there anything you would like to report?
At this point, we haven't had any major things happen. We just got through with the EJ and the safety element. The next thing on the agenda is that we'll be moving forward. It will be the objective development design standards and the Parklet program. So those are the two last big projects that we'll be working on. We are starting the process of just getting information regarding general plan costs and those types of things, but we're at the very infant stages of that. So that's something that the city will need to do in the next probably start the process in the next 3 or 4 years. And so get that going. So we're starting to get an idea just what type of costs we're going to need to start saving for that big item. And that will consist of a general plan, specific plan, environmental impact report, downtown master plan. So it'll be a big project. So we're working with our on-call consultants on that. In terms of development, we're still working with the current developers. The Apian Village is continuing to move forward with their project. We are, I think they've got 5 buildings under permit right now. I think they're building the first 3. I didn't see the other 2. I guess maybe they are building it. They've got foundations for all 5, right?
Yeah, they're working on all 5.
Okay, so they're moving forward and moving like gangbusters, and hopefully have occupancies or in the next probably 8 to 12 weeks. So to be optimistic, based on weather and all that and finishing up. So other than that, unless you have individual projects or if there's anything else that you want to comment on, I'd be happy to answer.
Thank you for the report. Are there any questions from the commission on Planning Manager Hannum's report? Yes, Vice Chair Menes.
One question with regards to the Kmart site. Any progress there since your last report?
We are working with the developer. I don't know if I can remember if I told you. We are working with the developer to get the demo permit approved, to start taking the building down. So we are working with that, but we haven't gotten any information on whether or not for permits for the actual building. So the demo permit we're working on right now, and hopefully we'll get that building down here in a couple months.
So still in progress then. All right.
Still in progress.
Any additional questions from the commission? Do we have any public comment?
No hands raised online at this moment.
All right, and we'll move on to our commissioners' report. Are there any items to report from commissioners? All right, we will move forward to our communications. Any communications from the commission? Yes, Vice Chair Menace.
Just the usual notes about events coming up in the city. Tomorrow there's going to be the usual senior food distribution at the senior center between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. and you'll need to fill out an application either there or online, verifying you meet the various requirements, over 55, within a certain income range, et cetera, et cetera. And the other thing is the city's going to be having Coffee with a Cop over at, let me pull up the exact location. Alamo Donuts on Wednesday, the 11th, from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. That's all.
All right, thank you. And our next meeting is scheduled for February 23rd, 2026 at 7 p.m. And with that, yes, Vice Chair Menace.
One thing, can we check if there's any comments on, the communications? Unlikely, but.
Yeah, no hands raised currently.
Thank you for checking, and our next regularly scheduled meeting will be on February 23rd, 2026 at 7 p.m. And with that, we will be adjourned.